Welcome back here at Cardines Field in Newport as we go to the third inning, a 1-0 game. Joined here in the booth now by the Commissioner of the NECBL, Sean McGrath. Mr. Commissioner, thank you for joining us here.
Nick, good to be here. It's always fun to return to Newport. Beautiful night tonight, and the fans have filled up the place pretty much tonight.
Great night for baseball here as Brett Graves comes out for the third, the first pitch of the inning. Low and inside, ball one. To Jake Robson, who bounced out his last time. Now, Mr. Commissioner, you played in this league, but before the Newport Gulls even existed back in the 90s, as the pitch is high ball two.
Yes, I remember coming out to play one team in in Rhode Island, the Reds, Rhode Island Reds, 15-passenger vans, and the fan base was probably about you, me, and the official scorekeeper.
To a pitch, a ground ball, bounce to left side by the diving third baseman McKeithen. That'll be another base hit, and the fifth hit of the night for the Pilgrims in business. Their leadoff man on here in the third.
The league has really turned the page and really changed considerably through the years, from a small New England league with 5 teams in Connecticut and 1 in Rhode Island, 1 in Massachusetts, and now it's packed houses everywhere you go, fan support, loyal fans, and the baseball continues to get better each and every year. Each team, each general manager just continues to elevate the expectations and the quality of play each year.
Brett Graves dealing to Andrew Santamaro. The pitch is high ball one. Santamaro, two-time NECBLer who his older brother, Nick, played for the Newport Gulls, so there's a family with a strong connection, strong ties to the league. And you get a lot of that here in the NECBL. I know you're a long-time general manager of the North Adams Steeplecats. You had a number of players come back for multiple years.
Yes, you have family members, and then it's also great to see the alumni return as coaches. Or they're coaching college baseball, and now they're calling you and recommending their own players. And it's obviously a great, that loyal relationship, the experience that they had in NECBL stays with them for a long time, and obviously they're more than happy to send their best players to the NECBL. They'll know be.
2-0 pitches swung on, popped up, found the count 2-1 on Santamaro.
They know they're going to have a great experience. Compete in a very challenging league. In front of the scouts, in front of the fans, and again, the NECBL takes great care of their players in each of our communities.
Brett Graves, again, a little bit of a jam here to start things off in the third. The count 2-1 on Andrew, who doubled his last time. Now Santamaro did not 0 for 3 against Graves in that first matchup between these two clubs here at Cardines Field, which Newport won 11-1. 0 for 3 with a strikeout in that contest. Now 1 for 4 against Graves this summer, who sets and fires the pitches, swung on and hit in the air to right field. Robinson going over a couple steps, now back a bit in front of the Gulls championship banners. He'll reach up and make the catch for the inning's first out. Now, of course, 3 new expansion teams in the league this year, Mr. Commissioner, and Plymouth being one of them, but also Saratoga and New York, as well as right here in Rhode Island, the Ocean State Waves. It's made some easy travel, certainly here in the NECBL East.
Yes, this little southeast corridor in New England has a great little rivalry and easy on the commute, and hopefully the fans take advantage of it and attend. I know there's a lot of fans here from Plymouth today. The head of the chamber is here. And it just kind of creates that loyalty and that pride in your community even more so when, especially the rivalry I'm sure that is building between Newport and the Ocean State Waves.
Well, we saw it last night here in the 6-4 win for the Waves. That series now tied 2 games apiece between Newport and Ocean State. 2 games left to play. It's going to be very interesting in late July, facing them with a couple days to go in the regular season. And
obviously the new team on the block is obviously looking up to the Gulls with all the championship banners out there. So that I know that they were, it means a great deal to them, and it's a testament to their commitment to it's a testament to the hard work that they've done this year and building a franchise from scratch, and to be able to think that they're 2-2 against Newport Gulls, the #1 team in all of summer baseball. I know they're not going to rest at all, but they're very proud of that accomplishment.
1-0 pitches swung on and missed for a pitch out to Garrett Stubbs, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game. A runner at first here, 1 down in the third at Cardines Field. Newport trailing Plymouth 1-0. It's been a little bit of a different contest from the first matchup between these two teams. A slugfest on lopsided towards the Gulls side. Here tonight,
It's great to see some great outfield play here already in 2 innings.
Great defense by the Pilgrims, who do lead the league in every defensive category. Most double plays turned, fewest errors, best fielding percentage. A ground ball bouncer up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop. No chance to second. Throws the first out there. Here's the throw to third, and it is in time. Robson tried to head all the way over to third base, but a twin killing. We'll have to get the official score on it. I think it went 6-3 to 5. Rob?
Yeah, that's what it did. It went exactly what it did. It went. Tamsing had no play at second base. He makes the easy play to winger at first base, and then out of nowhere, Robson tried to stretch what should have been a hit and run over to third base and was out by 2 steps over at third.
So a quick inning here in the top of the third. Sean McGrath, commissioner in the NECBL, can you stay with us for the bottom of the third?
Certainly, gladly.
We'll be back in a moment. As we go to the last of the third, it's the Newport Gulls trailing the Plymouth Pilgrims 1-0 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardine Field here in Newport. We go to the home half of the third. First pitch of the inning, a called strike. The leadoff man, Adrian English, number 9 man in the lineup, getting his first crack here against Matt Muir, who's had a pretty good start so far, as the next pitch is low. 3 hits so far for the Gulls, but some great defense behind Muir. Some good outfield stabs, including by Andrew Santamaro. Next pitch is swung on, fly down the right field line and foul. The count quickly 1-2. Joined in the booth by the commissioner of the NECBL, Sean McGrath. And Mr. Commissioner, we look at what teams can do around this league and take the advantage to help out the communities that support them. The Gulls excel at that as the pitch is outside. 2-2 now, and over the 13 years Newport has been the Gulls have been in Newport now. Over $500,000 has been contributed to local charitable organizations. As the 2-2 pitch is low, now we're at the count full on English, leading things off here in the third. And tonight, a very special night, strikeout ALS night. We saw the pregame festivity.
It's out. Newport has always done an outstanding job. It's a testament to their entire organization, the community here. Countless times each and every year they represent the NECBL and their organization.
Payoff pitch is swung on and popped up first base side. Could be playable. It will be for Melly. He'll make the stab right in front of the line behind the bag for out number 1. And that's something that separates this league from a lot of other summer college baseball leagues, like even the Cape Cod League. You don't see that kind of community interaction.
Exactly. I mean, we have 13 beautiful scenic communities in every New England state now, plus New York, and every community really has a lot of pride in their organization, in their team. And it's much more than just a game coming out. It really represents Newport and Laconia and Sanford.
Is Cody Jones reaching the infield single his last time, but gunned down at the plate. The pitch popped up right side, foul onto West Marlborough Street behind us and out of play.
Now, Mr. Commissioner, we have 3 new expansion teams, including the Plymouth Pilgrims here. Where does the league go in the next couple of years? Do they keep trying to grow? I mean, you've branched into New York, which some of the NECBL purists are not all too thrilled about.
Certainly. I think the reality is last year we played with 10 teams in the league, and I don't think any of the GMs were really that excited to play their in-division teams 8 times, 4 home, 4 away. It wasn't good for the fans. It wasn't good for the communities. So, to get back to 12 and then to think that we were at 13, is wonderful in 1 year. I don't think many of us had realistically thought that we could do that in 1 year. So that's a good thing. And 13 presents certain challenges with scheduling and balance. So if we get to 14, in the right way, that would be probably beneficial. What comes after that? We're always trying to marry baseball and communities. And if I can't tell you if 2 or 3 communities approach us, outstanding communities who were committed to the game of baseball and being a community asset, civic leader. I can't guarantee you that we probably certainly would sit down with them and consider them. There's no set number that the league wants to be at or has to be at. It's really about that marriage of civic organization and the game of baseball and what's best for the NECBL. So we'll continue to look at other communities and organizations.
1-2 the count on Cody Jones, showing bunt for a moment here, following off against Matt Muir in a brief conference with Joe Sedum on the mound.
That's to give Chris Tasca a little bit of a moment. I tip my cap as an umpire myself working behind the plate. Tasca took a really hard shot off of part of his thigh that is not protected by what I'm going to assume is Wilson padding because he's got the New Balance shoes and the Jerry Davis pants, and I would go with Wilson because that's the brand that I use behind the plate. And that one hurt. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
He dusts off the plate, and Task is ready to go again. Now, one thing we have seen, Mr. Commissioner, with the new rivalry with Ocean State, of course, New Bedford very close here. Mystic not too far away, but with Ocean State in particular, we've seen 300-400 fans make the trip across the bridges here to Newport, and seen a lot of Waves hats in the stands. Ground ball bounce to left side. This by the diving third baseman Richardson for a base hit, and Jones is 2 for 2.
Well, they obviously the geographic, the proximity to Newport. They know the Newport Gulls. They know the NECBL. So they were almost trained even before the Ocean State Waves came to town. And then to think that they have a team in their own town now, competing against the Gulls, doing well, I think is going to bode very, very well for a nice rivalry for years to come. I was there at their inaugural game, and it was an outstanding night. I looked around the ballpark, and by the end of the night, I think every single fan had a Ocean State Waves hat on, and they really take a lot of pride in that team.
Trace Tamsing steps up to the plate. He fly to center his last time. The pitch is swung on and popped up. Shallow right center field. In comes Stevens. Out goes Patterson, but Stevens will call him off. Make the catch. That's out number 2. Jones retreats back to the bag at first.
And the Ocean State Waves, obviously, I know they've spent a lot of time, their management, with the Gulls, talking about how you do this, how have you made it so successful, what's all the background, the fundamentals. And Matt Finlayson and Jeff Sweener, they've done a tremendous job. First-year organization, first-year management, and as a commissioner, first-year commissioner, I cannot be more complimentary of their hard work and their commitment to doing things the right way, right from the get-go, and that's.
And it works both ways. The Gulls traveled twice now so far to South Kingstown to Old Mountain Field. We've seen a number of Gulls fans make the trip over there, set up the folding chairs. The whole Gulls grounds crew went to the last game and took in the action. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Stolen base. It pops out. Goes into the outfield. Jones on his feet on the way to third. The throw not in time there. A stolen base for Jones, who goes to third base. Is going to be an error most likely on the catcher Sedum. We'll see how they score it.
That was a great reaction by Jones. Jones had no hesitation once he saw that ball go past. If you stutter on that, you get thrown out third base. He reacted, never stopped.
Cody Jones picks up his second stolen base of the night. That's his 13th of the season now. He's 13 for 15.
Well, what school does he attend?
Jones is out of Texas Christian University,
okay.
Native of Round Rock, Texas.
I asked that.
Pitcher Robertson swung on and drilled to right field deep. Way back it goes. It's high off the wall. The game is tied. Jones scores handily. Here's the throw to second. Cut off. And it's an RBI double for Ben Roberts. And we have a new ball game here in the third. Roberts has his league-leading 9th double of the season. That's RBI number 13. And he's 2 for 2 in the ball game.
Yeah, I asked that about Jones. I think at the college game with aluminum bat, the way it was for so many years, the stolen base was kind of lost art. Certainly, I think with the BB Corps, it's starting to come back into the game. But I remember recruiting guys when I was general manager with North Adams, and they might be 7 for 7 stolen bases, and they're 19 for 22 in the NECBL. The NECBL is definitely much more much more aggressive, I guess you could say, than the 4-year college programs.
Opportunity here for the Gulls to take the lead. A runner in scoring position, 2 down. Some hard hit balls tonight off of Matt Muir, and here's Timmy Robinson, the cleanup man. Fresh off a night off last night. The pitch is swung on a miss. Went out in front on the breaking ball.
Got the shadows creeping in here too, between the pitcher's release and crossing into the shadow.
Mr. Commissioner, I last talked to you at the Pilgrims launch event in the off season in the winter. How's your transition personally been as the commissioner in this league, and how have you been growing and developing in the last couple months? As the pitch is swung on and lifted in the air, shallow right center field, falling quickly, but there is Santamaro makes the catch.
It's been going very well. There are certain aspects that I miss about being a general manager. The opportunity to know a team and work with the coaches and players inside and out. It's certainly tough to lose that closeness to the dugout and to the team and the players that you recruit. But there's a lot of things I've really enjoyed. The opportunity to come here and experience Newport, in a much more relaxed environment, as if I was a general manager with a team here. It wouldn't be so relaxing to come and observe the Steeplecats compete against the Gulls. And so just being able to go around the league and watch each operation in a with a fresh set of eyes and be able to appreciate everything that each organization's doing in the community has been very fun. It's been fun to travel and get away from the Berkshires, where I've been every weekend for 9 years in a row, never miss a game. And so in that aspect, that's definitely been the perks. And figuring out the administration is some of it. There's been some interesting experiences, to say the least. Player or coach ejections, protests here and there. Some rain issues with
a lot of rain.
We've had rain.
Yeah. I remember we got a phone call last week at 11:30 at night about what to do with the rain. I think the game ended up finishing at around 1:30 in the morning in Laconia, New Hampshire. But so there's a lot that I've been able to anticipate and be prepared for. There's been a lot that I have honestly just said, okay, let's go through the thought process, reach out to Mario Tiani, my mentor, and do a lot of research. I got a great front executive staff with Greg Hunt, a former NECBL, a longtime alum coach, and Brian Ham, who coached for the Steeplecats and is now the head coach at Amherst College, as my deputy commissioners. So the three of us exchanged a lot of emails and a lot of conversations and talked through a lot of anything unique that comes up. So it's been fun.
Before we let the commissioner go, I know Rob Massey had one more question, but we'll throw it over for Rob now for a play-by-play story. The voice of the Pilgrims here in the fourth inning, a tied game, 1 apiece. Rob Massey.
Thanks very much, Mr. Lima. And Mr. Commissioner, before you go, the one thing, and I think you partially answered it, is in your transition from GM to the commissioner of the NECBL, what has been the most difficult thing other than dealing with the rain?
The rain has been a little bit of an issue, but I think it's the knowing that the NECBL has.
Melly takes a ground ball over to first base, and with the little underhand throw, Winger gets Melly out 3-1.
Through the past 19 years, the NECBL has really honed in on its playing guidelines and the rules of the NECBL, which are the NCAA on the field, the NCAA rules, but the league has its protocols and its rules. And most of these organizations, well, they're all not-for-profit organizations. They're mainly run by wonderful, amazing volunteers from each community, interns that come and go from year to year, and it's really been just making sure that each team.
Here's a ground ball at second base. Up with it is English. Over to first. The throw is high, and Stevens is going to be safe, and that's going to be a throwing error by Adrian English.
It's really been to make sure that each organization, all their staff, and the new management with 3 new expansion teams. We've had some new general managers come in for the returning teams as well, but just to make sure that everybody understands the playing guidelines and the decisions that I have to enforce.
Of course, Adrian English, who played for the North Adams Steeplecats last year. It's always interesting to see when a player goes to a different team. It's almost gives us sort of that professional atmosphere, like, oh, he used to play for this team, but now he's with us.
Very much so. We've thoroughly enjoyed Adrian last year. He turned into the best hitter for the Steeplecats in the month of July. Probably missed out on making the All-Star game by turning on a week late. But it's good to see him back in this league. I knew he was hoping to get a contract on the Cape at one point, and but he certainly had an amazing year at college this year, an All-American type year. I saw him play at Barry this year in the spring and squared up every ball and played great defense. And so just thrilled for him to return to the NECBL, a native of South Florida, and have this experience now in the Eastern Division. I'm sure he'll be well received when he returns to North Adams.
Well, Sean McGrath, Commissioner of the New England Collegiate Baseball League, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time with us here on the air.
It's a pleasure, guys, and it's always a joy to come to Newport, and you guys do a great job. And from the league's perspective, what you do to bring the game into the fans' homes throughout the country, and the parents of these players who send their sons across the country is really spectacular and special. And I just can't thank you enough for your professionalism and commitment.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Commissioner.
Pleasure, guys.